Good morning in Europe and good evening in Asia. It's time for AF Asia Series, round 2. We're here at Sentul for the second time in Assetto Friends. We were last here for AF4 a few weeks ago. We're just about to start qualifying. But let me take you around the track before we do that. Here we are in Sentul in Bogor, Indonesia. Forgive the pronunciation. A really long pit straight to get us started on this track. A really wide track as well. Here's turn 1. Sort of a long, almost 90-degree right-hander, very fast. Follow that up with a quick left kink. And then up to one of the main overtaking zones on this track, turns 3 and 4. 2 right-handers, the second one tighter than the first. Then we have the long back straight leading towards a tight chicane at 6 and 7. Plenty of overtaking. This was a sticking point for a lot of drivers in AF4. Follow that with another medium straight and another chicane. This one a bit faster than the first. And then we lead down another short straight before a double apexed right-hander at turn 10. And a small kink at 11 to finish the lap. And back down the pit straight. I'm just waiting for all roughly 16 cars today in AF Asia. Once that gets going, we'll bring some actual action. Thank you everybody for joining us, all 9 people so far. I know it's a bit early for a lot of people in Europe watching this. We appreciate everybody that's joined us. This is one of the only races, really, that we have that has a mandatory pit stop involved. And one of the big issues with coming out of the pit lane is, as you'll see in a minute, the white line on the exit. It's really, really narrow. You can just about fit a car in it. If you cross over that line, that's a 5-second penalty. So that could be an issue for some other cars. Cars streaming out for the first time to go racing round at Sentul. I'm quite looking forward to this race. Last week at Suzuka was a lot of fun, a lot of cars, and surprisingly clean. But this one is going to be much better, even better for overtaking than Suzuka was, because, as I say, it's wide. It's these long straights and these excuse me, wide long straights and plenty of braking zones that can cause some overtaking. I mean, every braking zone is an overtaking opportunity. You know, turn 1, turn 3 up at the top, turn 5 at the little chicane there. So turn 6 at the chicane, then turn 8 and turn 10. They're all overtaking moves. Just leave it on this view. There is. As you see, it's a little tricky, that chicane. It's good fun. I really like this track. It's a hidden gem, let's say. It's a hidden gem. Let's bring you some of the first laps. The first lap honour goes to whatever. Diving into turn 1. We'll go for an onboard view of this lap. We see it's fast turn 1 and through turn 2 over the kink. You lose a lot of curve over the exit, over the entry. 4 wheels over the exit there will cause you to get a penalty. Will cause you to get a driving line infraction. Braking for turn 3 at the tight hairpin at the top of the course. Goes wide, uses lots of curb, pulls it in for a late apex through 4. Again, uses all the apex you're allowed to at turn 4. Lovely. Down the back straight. Pull left through the kink and ready for braking zone at turn 6 and 7. Oh, a little crossed up under braking. Use loads of curve on the entry. Keep it tight. That's perfect line on the right hand side there. Down towards the final chicane. Like about 60 metres. Doesn't use the curve there. Switch back. Use the weight of the car to help pull through turn number 9. All the apex on the exit. Lovely. Final braking zone. Again, about 60-70 metres. Into 10. Double right-hander. And then through 11 to finish off the lap. And the power to the line now. We're looking around about 31s, it seems to be the fast times by the top guys in this series. Let's see what this lap's going to be. I'm going to be wrong. It's going to be like a 29 at this rate. Now it's a 1 minute 30.266. That's a very decent lap to start us off. As far as I'm aware, track grip is already set to maximum, so there's no issues with track grip. We should be seeing the fastest times already, unless I've got that wrong. Where's the weather? Yes, track grip is at optimum, 100%. Murray goes second with a 31.2. Basically no one within a second of whatever. Stunning lap to start us off. Here's our recently crowned AF4 champion, Saikat Takuma. And guess who forgot to put the skins on the cars? Me! There's one in the gravel in the background, that is Miguel Costa. They're all together at turn... Switch to the free camera again, you can see everybody streaming through turn 4. Takuma into turn number 6. He's got I-redacted Callum Dunn and Cano behind. It's quite a long qualifying session, 15 minutes, plenty of opportunities to get a good lap in. Vincent goes for P2, Michael Vincent with a 30.6, that's a pretty good lap from him. So 29 is not at all out of the question. Expect the drivers to fight hard when we get to the actual race. Takuma around the final corner. Takuma lives only a stone's throw away from Sentul. He knows this track like the back of his hand. He's raced here in real life as well. And he was a very strong advocate for getting this track on the calendar. Goes for a 30.9, a good lap there. I'm basically just going to say that for every lap that goes in the 1 minute 30s. I tell you what, this is a lot calmer than yesterday's AF4 race, where everything was happening, but yeah, it's nice. Michael Vincent improves still, goes for 1:30.6 again. It's about a 10th up on his previous lap. He goes wide at turn 1, but so does the guy in front of him. That was Alif Al-Ayuba, who just decides I'm going to cut across turn 2. I think I'm going to stop. I think he's going to stop. Yeah, he is. And return to the pits. Farija Fikri. Been looking good in a few races so far. He's stood out a couple of times. How's his lap doing? He's just about to start a flying lap for the first time. Let's have a look at what his lap looks like from the onboard camera. Flying through turn 2, full throttle. Lovely. So we last raced here a few weeks ago for AF4. And that was actually the first use ever of the virtual safety car in our service. And it went rather well, I would say. So much so that I'm more than willing to just press the button whenever I like. Deploy VSC, done. There we go, everyone can... Oh, there goes wide for Cano. He has to rejoin carefully because he's got people flying past him. Callum Dunn and Miguel Costa. Those two drivers. 7 reports for Lukey. Yeah. I mean, you got unlucky. You got hit at turn 1. And then you rejoined and collected people. Like, you waited until you rejoined the track to put the brakes on. Farija Fikri goes to P6 with a 31.4. Not a bad lap. Not a bad lap at all. It's a pretty close field, actually. If you go from about P3... So P3 to P11 is within a second. It is 1 second. That's a pretty close field. It's not the shortest lap in the world. So it's quite a tight lap. Quite tight. Costa's had an off. He's gone back to the pits and whatever. Still in the lead. You see how he does as he comes over the line for his latest lap. Yes, I know. I goofed it. I goofed the skins. You might see a couple of skins. Maybe. Alpha Yuba's come together with Saikat Takuma at the turn 6-7 chicane. Loads of track limits violations coming through, but we can't do anything about that in quali. So we just leave them be. Yeah, I know, I done goofed it. Yeah, these sort of weird downshift noises, yeah. But they sound awesome, I love them. Michael Vincent using that's sort of an idea of how much curve you're allowed to take at turn 3. Just every little bit, but just leave a little bit on the red and white curve and you'll be fine. I believe this is Michael Vincent's first race with us at Assetto Friends. There's a very good lap to go, P2. Faruja Fikri has parked it on the inside of turn 1. That's not the best place to be parking it. Diego Dom's gone off as well. He's teleported back to the pits. Here is Sis Murray. Size is Sis Murray. It's got to be Sis Murray. Going through turn 2. Colin Louis and I would have stopped on track at the same time. They're not linked though. It's interesting. Still 4.5 minutes away from the end of this session, and whatever still has a 0.3 of a second lead over Vincent. Another 0.4 to Diego Dom and Takuma. I'll do it again. There you go, there's your downshift noise. I've done motorbikes and now I've done Honda Civic downshifts. Are you happy? Are you happy now, people? Cano's had an off at turn 7. Just gone straight on the exit. Here's Faruja Fikri. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We've got a little thing going on a minute on the exit. Here's Fikri Atska and Cano Dunn, and there's also Cano behind, all coming out at the same time. Tellus has joined us. Good morning, Tellus. It's bloody early for you. What are you doing here? 5 AM. Thank you for joining us, Tellus. Yes, I will repeat what I posted recently in the announcements chat on our Discord. We had to cancel the Goodwood event that was supposed to take place at 2 o'clock today because so many people so many people couldn't do it. We had to cancel it. So we're going to try and do it another time when we have better numbers and we can do the event justice. We still believe in the format. There was a lot of interest for it, just the timing was off. So we'll redo it again at another time, but keep an eye out very soon for what we've recently reached 1,000 members on our Discord, which is incredible. So keep an eye out for our 1,000 member event announcement very soon. Very soon. Hopefully this week we'll be able to announce something for you. Here we are, 2 minutes left to go in the session. Mohammed Fikri Adska is going to be coming out. I'm probably doing too much on the Z there. He's going to come across the line. Best time of the 31.3. So let's go for... Oh, don't go left. There we go. Or right, whatever it is. Let's look at all the cars as they come across the line. With this pioneering that definitely nobody has ever done before. View. Next on the line will be Bones, currently P15 with a 32.6 is going to come across the line and not improved just yet. Next, Colin Louis, currently P13, doesn't improve. Oh no, Colin Louis is still coming across the line now. Stays P13, Costa's gone off. Next will be Ahmed Kuspranoto, who hasn't had a lap yet. Same for whatever, no improvements. Maybe I'm too early for this, but we're into the last minute of the session now, so the last lap's starting now. Velvatorium improves with 33.2, stays P16. Next will be Michael Vincent, doesn't improve on a 30.5. I'm going to switch to a different view. It's a bit lower down to the track. Grandstand view, boys. How about that? There you go. Realism. Polybius next will be next to come across the line. To, I'm assuming, start his lap, because nobody seems to be setting one. Mohammed Fikri Azka, I know, is finishing a lap. He's currently doing a fairly decent job. A 31.3 is currently time. No improvement there. Murray goes to P3. Callum Dunn, currently P11, doesn't improve. Cano doesn't improve either, but he's going to start. They'll both start a lap. They've got time for one more. So all of these will definitely be laps. Bones is going to be coming up next. Here he comes. We've got Takuma coming into the pits. He'll take P4 and leave it there. Bones is going to come across the line. Doesn't improve. Stays P15. Diego Dom doesn't improve. Stays P5. Colin Louis will come up next. Farija Fikri's come into the pits. And Polybius has stopped on track. Colin Louis will come across the line and doesn't improve. It does improve. 32.2 but stays P13. That just leaves a handful of people. That is Michael Vincent will be next up. He's coming to the pits as well. Ahmed Kuspranoto doesn't improve either. He'll come into the pits as well. Well, what an anticlimactic way to end this session. I mean, come on. You could at least try. You need to pull into the pits to tease us like that. Mohammed Fikri Adskar and Sis Moe, I believe, and maybe even Callum Dunn still going to set their final laps, I think. But what you'll hear after this, I'm going to do the driver briefing again, and you're going to hear my speech, my big speech. Fikri Adskar improves to P6 with a 30.9, lovely lap from him. And Sis Moe will stay P3 with a 30.5. But it's whatever, 16.24 on pole. Michael Vincent alongside in second. Then Moe, Takuma, Diego Dom, Azka, Costa, Fikri, Fail, Polybius, Dunn, Cano, Louis, Redacted, Velvatoria, and Al Ayuba. But I think Bones will go for P15. He's having some technical issues.
That was close, Takuma.
Yeah, I saw you were in front of me and I went straight again. I didn't want you to beat me.
Okay, guys, good job of qualifying. I need to go through this quickly because I don't know how long we have. For today's race, as with all of our races now, please make sure you are able to see server messages at the top of your screen. You should now check this, as you may receive a penalty that could be avoided by having server messages enabled. You can check this by going to your in-game chat app or the in-garage leaderboard app. Go to the top right hand of your corner, looking for a small cog button. Make sure the bottom setting called Hide Server Messages from the top of the screen is unchecked. The virtual safety car will be deployed in the event of 3 or more cars involved in an incident. If this occurs, please remain as quiet as possible and await race control instruction. There will be a 10-second warning between race control saying there will be a virtual safety car to the VSC being deployed. No overtaking is allowed during either the countdown or the VSC itself. The purpose of this countdown is to organise yourselves into single file and begin to slow to the speed limit. You should do this by letting off the throttle rather than braking, but do not go full throttle. This is to avoid concertinas that could cause further incidents. When the VSC is deployed, a server message should appear at the top of your screen. Race control will say all of this in VC as well. The leader of the race shall drive at 80 km an hour or 50 miles an hour, while the remaining drivers shall drive at 120 km an hour or 75 miles an hour until they catch the lead pack. When you catch the lead pack, please do 80 km an hour. Please keep a safe distance between cars, at least 2 car lengths. The VSC shall last 90 seconds. There will be a 10-second warning, followed by a 3-second countdown at the end of this period. or this will be said by race control as well. And finally, track limits today are being monitored at turns 1, 2, 3 and 4. An infraction is all 4 wheels over the curb. No time for questions. Have fun. Good luck. Good luck. Oh, just got it in time. Here come the lights. 3, 4, 5 and 6. And we are green at Sentul. That's the wrong camera view. Get someone else. Michael Vincent. Let's go for him. It's a good enough start for whatever. He's going to go into the first corner in the lead. Michael Vincent's going to squeeze down the inside for second place. No turn driver names on, but it's Sis Murray that takes P2 from Michael Vincent. Diego Don third and Takuma fourth. Callum Dunn's had a crash in the background. But he's going to come out in last. Tellis will be P17 at the minute. Takuma down the inside of Diego Dom, trying to get fourth place. He's got the move down. He's got the inside through turn 4 as well, so he's got that move done. Miguel Costa's going to try and follow through in 5th place. That's done as well, but Diego Dom might just have a better run down into the turn 6, 7 chicane. Maybe a little dive could be happening. Surprisingly clean race so far. Nice and clean first lap. It's a half an hour race, so don't go all out on lap 1. Fail had a little look there at Polybius. I redacted to Louis in the battle for P14 meanwhile. Let's look at this. Diego Dom still trying to catch Costa. And who's that? That's Fikri Azka that's going for a little pop into turn 9 and makes the move stick. That's a lovely move. Beautiful. Down the inside goes Diego Dom again into turn number 10. They're going to be side by side through 11 as well. Drag race. Drag race will ensue. You can see the cars on the right, and it looks like other Fikri is going to have a little move. That's Faruja Fikri on the right hand side. Let's look at the 3 wide move. Here we go, 3 wide into turn 1 on lap number 2. Fikri thinks better of it. He backs off, but Diego Dom takes P6 and his a little punt there. Diego Dom has to save it. Excellent save from Diego Dom. Top notch. Down the inside, and Fikri Azka will take P6. Faruja Fikri will take P7, and Polybius is going to take P8 out of all of that, and Diego Dom drops from P4 to P9 after the first lap. Not a good start. Dunn, Tellis, Velvatorian are having a little battle. That's Faruja Fikri again getting... that's Faruja Fikri pushing around the other Fikri. Polybius blocks off Fikri through turn number 4, and Diego Dom takes P8 back. His comeback begins now. This is a super close battle for 4th place. 5th place. No, it's 6th place. I'll get it right eventually. Super great racing. So close. Diego Dom with the awesome switchback on Fikri Azka. And takes P7. But I can absolutely see Polybius having a little punt into pop. Rather, not punt, a pop. Into turn 8. Oh, but look at this. Faruja Fikri going again for a move into turn 9. It seems to be a favourite move of his. That's 2 laps in a row he's tried to do something like that. Cus Pronto's dropped 2 places back behind. But that didn't fail. So he goes to P14. And Bones got going again. He's in P19. I think there were some technical issues that caused that. But here we are as we start lap number 3. Whatever has a 30.5 to set the fastest lap of this race. Sis Murray is 2nd and Michael Vincent is 3rd. Takuma 4th, Costa 5th. And in this battle for 6th place, Fikri Azka, Diego Dom, Polybius and Faruja Fikri. Faruja Fikri looking really fast through turn 1. He takes a wider line because he's so fast. So can he get a good run up to turn 3? I don't think he's going to be close enough this time to make a move. Vincent's dropped down 2 places. He's got behind Costa and Takuma. I don't even think that was because of a collision. I think he just went wide somewhere. And all this, I still need to look at the track limits and keep that monitored. Callum Dunn versus Gus Bonotto. That's side by side for P13. Let's bring you that move. There we go. And Callum Dunn drops back. He's now under threat from Alif Alayuba behind. And maybe even Telles. He's going to have as a look, does Alif Alayuba into the corner. Is that going wide? That is Velvetorian going wide. Guspano Alafalayuba having a look into turn number 9. In turn 10, there's a little touch, but they're still going. Alafalayuba's going to have the inside for turn number 11 as well. There's going to be a drag race once again down the front straight. And who's going to get in this but Tellez? This is the battle for the last 2 points paying positions. Tellez is going to switch to the inside maybe. They're weaving left and right. That might be because of a touch they had to save. The pit lane is now open. If you want to take your mandatory pit stop. Whoa! What the hell was that? That was Alafalayuba making a strange move to the left-hand side and just taking out Tellez. They're both going to rejoin fine. Tellez will go down to P. That's is that Cano across the grass? I don't know who it was. Alafalayuba's across the grass. Relaxing versus Fail. Here it is for P11. Fail looks like he might have a move. Fail's looking strong in certain races. He was up in the front pack for AF4 for most of it yesterday. He's going to try the switchback. It's a weird form of switchback, but it's worked. Coming out of turn 7. He's made the move stick. Coming towards turn 8. Redactus thinks better of a move. Michael Vincent on the back of Miguel Costa in his... Michael Vincent trying to pull back what was P2, what was P3 rather, and is now P5. After what I'm assuming was a mistake. Field's starting to spread out a little bit now. It's all going to kick off when the pit stops come around. Here's Fail still trying to retake Redacted again for P11. They're still battling it out. Side by side towards turn 8-9 chicane. Fail's going to try and do he's got the inside for turn number 9. Comes across the grass on the curb. They have a little bang wheels on the exit, and they're going to... Redacted returns the favour. This brings Callum Dunn into the mix. He's going to have has a little look into turn 10, thinks better of it. Great racing. Dunn's got an excellent one out of turn 11. He's going to pull to the right hand side. He's going to have a look down the inside of Fail into turn number 1. Surprised you haven't seen anybody into the pits for for their mandatory pit stop. Pulls in, has a little lock up as Callum Dunn. Almost comes to the back of Fail. But gets away with it for now. Redacted goes wide at turn 6. Onto the gravel. That's going to be a slow rejoin, but he's going to have to go really wide. Let's just watch Redacted's rejoin. It's all safe. It's quite a wide track, so you can get away with these sorts of things. Whatever sets the fastest lap of the race with 30.3. It's almost as good as his quality lap. Velvetorian and Redacted side by side as Redacted tries to recover to where he was before. Gets squeezed into the final corner by Velvetorian. and stays behind for now. Fail versus Dunn, side by side, going into turn 1. Callum Dunn takes the place from Fail for now. You can be sure this battle's going to keep going for later on to this race. Whatever is not too far away from having to lap Bones. That could make things interesting. That might be the time where whatever decides, okay, I'm going to pit now. We're expecting most people to come in half distance. Callum Dunn goes wide at turn 3, way off. It's still going to have a look at a move on Fail. Whoa! Fail lost it under the brakes. Exit stage left. The corner goes right. Fail. Battle for 5th place. Battle for 4th place, in fact. Costa, Vincent, Asker. Opening up now. And maybe even Diego Dom's going to get on this very soon if they keep battling like this. As we start lap 7 in this 30-minute race. Still no one coming into the pits so far. Asker has a look into turn number 1, thinks better of it. Round turn 2, slipstream. I don't know how effective the slipstream is, to be honest. But it's effective enough for Asker to have a little look at a move on Vincent into turn 3. If he can get a good run out of turn 4, which it looks like he does, he can make a move on the Filipino, Michael Vincent, into turn number 6. At the tight chicane. Looks a long way to the right to try and have a look, but doesn't make a move this time. In fact, it's going to be closer for Michael Vincent, who has a little sideways moment. I think he might have touched Miguel Costa. There's Vincent down the inside of Asker. Into 9. Diego Dom is here now. Try and pick up any pieces of any collisions. Going round the outside, Michael Vincent having a look at Asker. But here comes Diego Dom down the inside. He's gotten down into 10. He's going to have a look at 11. No, not going to do it on 11. He's going to have to do the slipstream into 1. Still no pit stops so far. Kind of surprised by that. Don't mind that name, that's just me. We've got Cano, who's been mugged by Cuspinoto and Velpatorian and drops out of the points. Oh, Vincent with a switch. Oh, that's close. Woohoo! That's a very aggressive switch to have a dive down the inside into turn number 3, but doesn't make it work. Tellez has overtaken Cano. In fact, that's because Cano's has gone into the wall on the pit straight. Probably a collision there. Still the battle raging for 5th place, Asker and Vincent. Takuma is the first one to take the plunge into the pit lane. At just under half distance, which means I would expect everyone else to come in at the end of this lap, at the end of lap 9. Asker's got an excellent run around the outside at turn 1. He's going to have the inside for 2. If Vincent can pull off the switchback, no, but he's still going to try and move down the right-hand side at the exit of turn 2. He's got these, they're side by side towards number 3. Asker trying to make it round the outside. He looks faster, but is it going to be enough? No, Vincent's going to hold the place for now, but they're still side by side down the back straight towards turn number 6. Maybe even 3 wide. Diego Dom's having a little look. Vincent stays behind for now. Aska takes P4. I redacted through the pits as well. So with my stunningly professional skills, here are the pit stops. He's going to be in the pits for Aska, and so there's Costa in the pits, and Diego Dom's going to come into the pits as well. Bones is going to come out just behind this battle, but he's a lap down. He's actually made 3 stops apparently, but I think that's just the 1 pit stop because of issues. Cuspranotto's going across the gravel at turn 6 and 7. He's going to have to rejoin carefully. It's a tough rejoin there. It's going to be done by Teles and Cano and Alif Alayuba. Callum Dunn in for the first time from P11. Much more spread out field than I was expecting this race to be. There's still some good racing going on. Here's Fikri, Aska and Vincent once again, now in the battle for what is 3rd place, but more like a net 7th place. Or net 6th place rather. Can Vincent get the switch back through 7? No, he can't. He's going to lose ground to Aska. Still waiting on the last of the... Still waiting on about half the field to pit, including the top 6. Whatever, Moe, Aska, Vincent Fikri, Polybius, and Fail, Veltorian, Teles, Cano, Alayuba and Cuspranotto. I'd say ignore anything that says 2 stops, that might just be an error. Diving into the pits comes Michael Vincent. So here will be the challenge. Michael Vincent was fighting with Diego Dom. Can Diego Dom pull off the undercut? We'll have a look at Diego Dom now. In fact, we'll have a look at Michael Vincent. He's in the pits. He's only just stopping. Look on the right-hand side of your picture. That's Takuma. Here comes Miguel Costa, and here comes Diego Dom, the next car on your screen. Vincent is still stopped. He's now getting moving. Diego Dom's done him, and so will Fail. Fail hasn't stopped though. So Vincent will rejoin in P9, behind Diego Dom by quite some distance, at least 5 seconds. Let's take a look quickly at the battle for P16. Or P17, that's Alayuba and redacted. Cuspranotto and I redacted. Alayuba decides to yeet off to the left to get out of the way, and he will pit now for his mandatory pit stop. Cuspranotto still hasn't stopped yet in this race, I will add. The battle for P12 going on at the minute. These two still haven't stopped. It is Velvatorian and Teles. Whatever, coming out of the pit lane. He's going to come out next to Bones, but obviously Bones is a lap down. He's going to come out at least 5 seconds ahead of Sis Murray. So whatever, his lead is safe for now. Murray has done Fikri. He's behind Takuma, and Murray is Farija Fikri. And maybe even behind Diego Dom. Fikri appears to be moving backwards in the pit lane, it looked like. Is he having some issues with the pit box, maybe? He's got going again now. That was odd. That was odd, I will say. Here's whatever in the lead. Getting lapped by Alif Alayuba, who's very nicely getting out of the way of this. What he is doing. That was for position. That was for... Oh, no, it wasn't. Yeah, that was for position, mate. You didn't need to move over for him. ourselves a bit of a spread out field at this point. Dunn versus Tellez. They're both pitted, so Tellez had an excellent run to pull back from the back of the grid because he didn't have time to qualify, so he started last on the grid. And as Fikri Asker comes through the pits, whatever retakes the lead. He's also behind Sis Murray. And even behind Takuma and Costa and maybe even Diego Dom. He's getting moving now. This is going to be close between Asker and Diego Dom for P5. There is Asker on the left. So Diego Dom retakes P5. And Fikri Asker with the freshest out of tyres, potentially, but who knows what that means in this race. Most people have now stopped. Fail is in. We have 4 minutes left in this pit window, so Cano should be pitted soon enough, and indeed he does, along with Tellez, who I thought had already stopped, but I guess not. So what I'll do now is I'll switch back to the original mode. Here is the intervals. Seamless, professional. Whatever, ends up with a 7.5 second lead after the pit stops. Murray is P2, Takuma 4 seconds back from Murray in P3, then Costa P4, Diego Dom P5, Fikri Asker P6, Michael Vincent 7th, Colin Louis 8th, Farija Fikri 9th, and Polybius in 10th. There's Alayuba getting lapped. He's staying out of the way, which is very nice. You don't always see that here. And technically you don't really have to, but it is the nice thing to do, you know. I mean, I think maybe Alif Alayuba saw yesterday's AF4 race and saw the lap cars in that race and decided better. And thought better of trying to fight that. There's some crazy things happening in yesterday's AF4 race, I tell you what. If you haven't watched it already, go back and watch it. It's on our YouTube page. It's on our YouTube channel. AF4 Season 3 Round 1 at Silverstone. Full race with my glorious commentary again. It's available to watch on YouTube, along with a lot of our recent streams and the ones not so recent. I think as far back as maybe the Race of Champions event we did 3 months ago. Worth watching. Subscribe to us as well. We've just reached 100 members this morning, in fact, on our YouTube page. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch as well for all of our streams. We should be having an AF3 stream coming up on Friday, and AF4 again next Saturday. And AF1 will be back next Sunday as well at Bahrain at last, after a little break. We would have done it today if we didn't do Goodwood, but well, the Formula 1 decided to fill our time slots, so thanks for that. Thank you to all the guys in Formula 1 for doing that. 6.5 minutes left in round 2. Cuspinoto versus Tellez ends with Cuspinoto in the gravel. Not necessarily because Tellez bumped him off. Not really sure. Cuspinoto going off again. Gets a turn 4. Here is Tellez. It says he's driving for No Spoon Racing, but that is a lie. I don't know what team he's actually driving for, but yeah. I'll give you an update on the track limits penalties currently in place. Currently, Cuspinoto is heading for an 8-second penalty. Callum Dunn and Velvatorian and Polybius all with 5-second penalties, and Alayuba with a 9-second penalty. So nothing really that should affect the standings towards the front of the grid, but who knows? Whatever has no track limits penalty so far. Murray's had 1 infraction, and Takuma has had 1 as well. So relatively clean at the front of the grid, so they know what they're doing. Cuspinoto off again at turn number 10, I noticed in the background. He's going to be rejoined in view of Bones and Velvetorian. Oh, sorry, Bones and Takuma lapping the both of them. Hopefully everyone's pitted, and I believe they have, because the pit window is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and closed. And customer '02 got penalised. Just as I say that, customer Ahmad customer Noto forgot to pit. Hopefully we'll be able to get back going again, but he's been teleported to the pit lane. Whoops! Maybe he's been disqualified altogether. I haven't seen him move yet. Very respectable and very clean driving from everybody today. Awesome race for them. As such, I haven't had to say my catchphrase over the voice chat to say safety car deployed. We haven't had to do that today. And hopefully no one's hearing the stream and thinking, oh my god, did he just say safety car's deployed? It's not. It's not. No safety car. No safety car. Everyone's clean. A lovely clean race. It's great to see, and it makes my life a lot easier. Fastest lap set by whatever. Again, a 30.2 this time. Is there a chance he can beat his quali time? He'll need to get to the 30.1s to do that. There's 3.5 minutes left, so he's got a couple of chances left to do that. Really spread out field right now. We've got Tellus up here. Tellus is around whatever 16.24, so this could be interesting if Tellus gets a rush of blood to his head, but no such occasion here. Alif Alayuba going across the gravel at turn 9 meanwhile. There's always that fear when you're lapping a car that they'll get a rush of blood to their head. I tell you who's caught up to the back. Asker is caught up to the back of Diego Dom. That's what a 1 second gap looks like in these cars. Just 2 minutes left in this session, so we're looking at 2 laps left to go in this race, as whatever's just crossed the line with 2:13 to go. At the final corner, one of the interesting things that could happen now is Diego Dom versus a lapped car. Bones are going to get out of the way, but he's not really slowing down. Now he is, so here comes Diego Dom, and here comes Fikri Azka out straight past. Nice and clean. Lovely. It's almost disappointing to see something like that, because you don't get as much excitement when you get a lap car moving out of the way. You know, that's kind of why it's so excited to do endurance racing, because the cars you're lapping don't have to get out of the way. This is great to watch. It's sort of the old will they, won't they? God damn it, Colin. I think I brought out the VSC now. No, it's not possible. There's just so... It just... Oh, okay. Grosjean not racing in Abu Dhabi. I think that's a good call, and I'll tell you why. That means that Mercedes will give him a test in a Mercedes car to end his career. And I suspect that may have had something to do with the... No, it wouldn't have done. Of course not. It's very sad to see that that's the end. That's how Grosjean's career ends. But it is kind of how he started, in a way. goes out the way he went out with a bang, as I will put in the most probably the worst possible way. He went out with a bang. But today has been whatever's race. And honestly, when you're commentating sim racing, that is still a weird thing to say. It's been whatever's race. Because that just sounds like I don't care. I do. It's been a beautifully clean race today. But even if it was dirty, you can still expect that this guy will come out on top. Round 2 at Sentul in AF Asia goes to whatever, 16.24. He's weaving, and the line, he hasn't even crossed it yet. It's all the way down the end. I wouldn't take too many risks. There we go, now he's crossed it. Whatever wins the race. Sis Murray will finish 10 seconds back. Here he comes down the pit straight. He's going to finish in second place. Sayakat Takuma, or just Takuma, will finish P3 to take a podium at his home track. Miguel Costa will finish P4. Diego Dom will finish P5. And Fikri Azka P6. Vincent will finish P7. That was a pretty close fight in the end for P4, 5 and 6. They caught back up, but sadly the race isn't long enough. Colin Louis will come around to finish P8. Parija Fikri will finish P9. Polybius will finish 10th. And Callum Dunn will finish 11th. Fail 12th. Redacted 13th. And Canos finish 14th. And Teles gets the final point in 15th. Bones, after having technical issues, finishes in 16th. Velvatorian 17th. Alif Aliuba 18th, and Ahmed Kuspranoto forgot to pit and so was disqualified. But I will tell you, it's possible that there may be some track limits penalties that could affect the order slightly. For example, Velvatorian will be dropping back. Well, no, he won't drop back anywhere. Who has got a penalty? I don't know. That doesn't actually help anymore because I can't see the gaps. Alif Aliuba, still waiting for Alif Aliuba to finish the race. That's a beautifully clean race and a beautifully clean slide. That was just a little mini one from Colin Louis. Aliuba is over the line. Beautiful merging there. And so we see the Honda 6 mate, which occurs when one gets too aggressive and attempts to merge with a stationary vehicle. I think we're going to try and bring in let's see who else we can bring in for an interview. Maybe we should try and bring in our race winner, perhaps. Let's see if whatever wants to join us. I'm going to move myself across to the streaming chats. Out of the way. Whatever, hello. Can you hear us?
Yep.
Congrats on another excellent race today. That was a really clean race. Were you feeling nervous getting to the lapped cars today, you think?
Not really. I just asked to see whether it was Formula One style blue flags or like Super GT where you have to actively overtake the cars, but otherwise they just got out of the way.
Somewhere in the middle. I don't think we actually have like a set rule on blue flags other than be safe, basically. Use your own common sense. What were your ideas with the pit strategy today? Because I saw quite a few options. Like we saw in Suzuka, most drivers were going for just sort of half-half, but people were mixing things up. What was your strategy today?
On Suzuka, I was more focused on not getting stuck behind lapped car. I mean, not really lapped cars, but just cars that hadn't pitted. But this race I was sort of far enough that I could just pit when I wanted and not really emerge out into traffic. So
Do you see yourself in championship contention for this season? You must do after this race and Suzuka as well.
potentially, but I might not be able to do the last two races, so we'll see.
Okay, so
I mean,
drop races might come into play here in a very interesting way towards the end of the season. Excellent. Thank you very much. Whatever, I'll send you back. Thank you for joining us, and congrats again on the win today. Let's see, anybody else that wants to come in for an interview, I wonder. So let's bring in Takuma, who came third in today's race. Hello, Takuma, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello. Third place today. Excellent job. Were you expecting to get P3? Because I imagine there was a lot of movement around sort of the upper end of the midfield, sort of the third down to about eighth. There was a lot of movement. What were your plans?
Ooh, my plans was when I noticed I had similar pace to Sisyphus, I just wanted to undercut him, but then I just lost my pace in the middle of the race, and he just went away. It was pretty good getting third with all the guys joining, which are super quick.
It is a competitive field down that sort of. Basically, if we remove whatever from the top, it's super tight. Basically, like how we would normally remove Hamilton from Formula One. What's below is super
Yeah,
tight. So it's excellent. It's excellent to watch. What was
yeah,
your
and
plan with the pit strategy today?
pit strategy, I always plan to undercut the guy in front of me because I noticed that the tires go off pretty quickly and we lose about like a second, half a second. So I just pit before the guy in front of me, or I pit at the 15-minute mark.
Okay,
That's just what I do.
I wouldn't really expect there to be a lot of tyre wear today because it's not the sort of track like Suzuka where there's lots of long corners that can wear the tyres out. It's sort of these almost like basic corners. They're not particularly long corners either. Maybe turn 3 and 4, but I wouldn't expect the um, tyre wear to be that significant. But I guess it is. Very interesting.
Yeah, but I'm most happy about the no VSCs on both of our races in season one, which is amazing for us.
Super clean today. There were a couple of things I
Yeah.
was like a little tempted basically just for shits and giggles, but nah, it wouldn't be right.
Yeah.
But yeah, super
Thank
clean
you,
race
man.
today. And
Awesome.
I guess I'll send you back now. Thank you very much, Takuma, for joining us.
Thank you,
Um,
Josh.
and see you next week.
See you.
Let's see anybody else that we should bring in for an interview. I wonder. No, I think we'll leave it there for today. So as I say, that will do us for today in AF Asia. AF Asia will be back next week with a completely different sort of race at Singapore. We're going to Singapore for the first time in Assetto Friends history, as far as I'm aware. That's going to be a super cool race to watch. I can't wait for it, and neither should you. It's next Sunday, 10 a.m. GMT. As I said earlier, Goodwood today is cancelled. So that's it for today's coverage. But we're back next Friday for round 5 of AF3. That's at Vancouver Street Circuit. We've got a few street circuits coming up next week. Saturday is AF4 at Suzuka. And as I said, Sunday morning, we're back for AF Asia round 3 at Singapore. And then later on that day, we're back for AF1 at last. After 2 weeks of no AF1, we're back for Bahrain. But until then, follow us on Twitch. Subscribe to us on Twitch if you'd like. Don't mind. Thank you very much for doing so if you do. I always forget what to say. Subscribe to us on YouTube. I get mixed up between subscribing and following. Subscribe to us on YouTube as well. We just reached 100 members on there. Thank you very much for that. And of course, join us on Discord. We've just reached 1,000 members, but we'd love to see as many people as possible in there. Because the more the merrier. The more the merrier. We have lovely full races, and yes, sub to me on OnlyFans as well. I've got OnlyFans. No, I don't. No, I'm just kidding. I hope my parents didn't hear that, and I don't think they know what OnlyFans is anyway. But anyway, that'll do us for today. Thank you very much for joining us, and until next Friday with AF3, we'll see you next time.